everybody, and welcome back. My name is Sue, and I'm from OML Embroidery, and over on the computer is Dawn.
Hello.
Hello. So we're doing a redo of patches, because, we love to talk about patches anyways,
Patches are fun.
but a lot of people aren't watching the video because of the sound issues, and yeah, that kind of sucked. So we're going to talk about fabric. I'm actually going to change it up. I have my cutter here, so I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to cut it. So I thought that would be cool. So patch fabric, pre-cut or cut at the hoop. Either way works. If you have the best fabric that I love, can you hear this? It's already fused. It's got fusible on the back. It looks exactly like twill. It's nice and thin and very workable. This stuff cuts really well. Now, I know I have this one kind of crappy. It's because I used the wrong settings on my machine. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. This is the one we were working on Wednesday, and this is the goal here. This is the goal. Look at the nice sharp edges around. So what software I'm using? It's Embrilliance. And this right here, the edging, is an add-on. I love some of Embrilliance's add-ons.
I love Embrilliance.
And this is called Merrilee. So a lot of people are asking, what the heck is that? Well, when you're making patches before this, you use what's called a marrow machine. And it looks like it is about 500 years old. It's kind of a funny machine. Mine hates me, but that's okay because I hate it. And all it does is put the edges on patches. And it's called a marrow machine. There's a number after it. That's it. So that's why he called it Merrilee. That's what it is. Makes sense.
Yeah.
There is a link in the description if you want to go check it out. Probably gives you a better explanation, but a lot of people were asking, what is this? It's really good. And you get a lot of cool fonts, too. I really like the fonts it came with. So
Merrilee is much better than just throwing a satin stitch on.
Much better, yeah. For sure. So, fabric. You can make patches from any fabric that you want. It doesn't matter. What does matter is how you prepare the fabric. That is the important part. And I can't find my one. Bummer. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's right there. So what you need to do, the difference between this patch fabric and this patch fabric, as you can see, this is flat. There's no frayed edges. And it's fused. I use Dime's Fuse and Stick, but you can use Heat and Bond and some cutaway just to make it flat and stiff. So you can use this. It's a lovely charm square that would fit, but you should fuse it. So that's why I called it to fuse or not to fuse. That is the question. This is what happens. Now, excuse these. This is what happens when you use tearaway. You have all these. Now, if you're really skilled at cutting, then you would cut them out. But this is fabric with nothing. And this is the problem with it. It's a little too flexible. Now, I do know, you'll be sewing it onto something, but it's a little too easy to get a bubble going on when you're sewing it. As opposed to this one, which is fabric, but I have the fusible on it, and it's flat. It's nice. What a cute little guy, though. I kind of laughed because I did his the highlights in his eyes in silver because I thought the silver lid was really nice, so I just carried it on. But he looks like Terminator-y. I thought.
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, so.
At least you didn't make them red.
Mental note, just use normal white for that. It's worth the thread color change. So, this is no. This is going to be hard to work with. This is good. This is better. So you can still see that there's a difference. Nice and stiff. This is going to be easy to sew on. It looks like you ironed it, and of course I did not. You could put more fusible on the back and iron it. You could put patch attached. There's so many things you can do, but that, to me, is a perfect patch. Now, here's an example of what I was talking about. Look at these sharp edges. Now, I think this looks gorgeous. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous how everything is done perfectly. So this is patch fabric from Dime, and you get the, I cut off some of it, but you get a big roll, and I happen to have the neon colors, so it's not very Christmassy, and you can hear that it's different.
Yep.
But I don't know, I guess you could look at a close-up picture of the patches on the website. It looks like fabric. Like, nobody would be able to tell the difference. So it looks like fabric. There's lines in it. It looks like twill. So, that being said, to me, in my opinion, that makes better patches. However, it is a lot of fun to use regular fabric. You can make really cute designs. So, a charm square would be perfect. Just fuse it on the back. You don't have to use this fuse and stick, but it's kind of handy. I like it. Like I said, heat and bond, fusible. The stiffer you can make it, the better. So if you had really thick cutaway and you put heat and bond in between and then cut that out, that would be perfect. So twill material is pretty much the industry standard, and it is thicker and it's got the lines. It would really work well in general. I would still back it though. I would still back it. So there are some patch rules. I mean, you can do patches like this, but this is more of a crowd pleaser. I think that that's got a wow factor going on.
For sure.
Any of them like this. Look at this. This is 2 appliques. Now you don't necessarily have to. So the first one is Merrilee, and the second one is just regular applique. I just happened to cut out, pre-cut that piece. I had it handy, and there it is. So, which is cool. But you could use regular fabric for that. That would be fine. So the rules, the way this works, this Merrilee from Embrilliance, which is an add-on to Embrilliance, you, like I said, you can use whatever fabric you want. Stiff fabric works best for me. Either pre-cut it, or cut it in hoop. I am going to show you guys the cutter, how quick it is. But the way it works is that you get a placement line stitched out, and then you put your pre-cut fabric down, and the next step is going to come in a little bit and stitch the tack down, and then it's going to go to the actual marrow stitches. So if you're going to do it in the hoop, then just put your fabric down first. It's going to give you your sew line, and then trim it as carefully as you can. So the reason for that is there's fabric right to the edge. So these have covered it up, but there's fabric to the edge to hold these stitches straight. So if you're thinking, oh no, when it does the placement line, I need to cut it a bit more, you don't. Just leave it. It needs to have fabric underneath. So it is a bit different than applique. And this Merrilee, the edges, it's going to stitch out first. So why does it do that? Because everything is pretty intense on patches. Like there's small stitches and lots of them, and satin stitches. And if you were to do the Merrilee last, even if you had like a zigzag stitch, chances are it's going to pull in, so pull compensation. These satin stitches would pull it in from both sides. And your Merrilee will be off and it won't work.
So Merrilee holds it all in place for you.
Holds it nice and flat and gives you a good base for it. So once you do the background of it, or whether it's the whole patch or just simply the background, then you're good to go. You're good to go. So in answer to the question, to fuse or not to fuse, fuse. Fuse. You want stiff fabric. There's a big difference between 1, 2, and 3. Nice, sharp, this, no. This, yes. I would actually like it a little bit stiffer than that. And these are really good. So to make really good looking patches, nice, stiff fabric. Doesn't necessarily have to be thick, but stiff so it holds its shape. Plus, you don't want any fraying edges. So you can do that now. I'm going to keep that one out. Oh, and any fabric. Look how beautiful this would be. Now, this is a little bit thicker than regular cotton because it's gilded. Lots of gold on it. I would still fuse it. Fuse everything. Now, the other thing I want to remind you guys of is for best results, 1 patch per hooping, because the Merrilee is very, very stitch intense, and it's going to end up pulling on stuff, and you really don't want that. So it's not a mass production of patches. That's not what it's for. It's for 1 or 2 patches, and you just do it like that. Most of the time 4x4 it's gonna fit. Not all the time. The ones I did are a little bit bigger. I actually decided to leave them because they were really cute that size. So this is cut. Now this I did on my brother, and I've got the scan and cut SDX 325, and I used the fabric mat, and I used the rotary cutter because I thought, hey, it's fabric. No, it didn't quite make it, and it took 5 minutes, and cutting it with the regular blade takes less than 1. You guys are gonna see that it doesn't take long at all. So, yeah, that's awesome.
I say thank you to Gina Richley for the donation.
Ooh, thank you very much. Oh, yeah, before I move it, this is the newest Mylar design. Isn't that cute? So the Mylar's there. Does it show up, Don?
Yes, it does, especially when you...
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah.
And Cindy King, Don's going to send you this right after the show, so look for that. Just Cindy, just because she's been making t-shirts that are awesome, so we want you to make a t-shirt out of this. So we're sending it to you, so look for that. But isn't that cute with the sparkle? You gotta love it. And this guy's Rudolph. That's adorable. And of course the patches are up as well. So let me lift this heavy dude so you guys can see. How's that looking? We'll turn it on, and might be a little bit off. So I want to, oops, I can't do that. Sorry, my bad. I want to show you guys how we do this. Now, I have my machine, Luminaire 3 now. I got to get used to saying that. Seems like just yesterday I was getting over saying McDreamy, but okay, here we go. I have the My Connection right here. My Connection. So what I can do is send an embroidery design straight from my machine. You don't need a computer, right to the scan and cut. So I've already done that because there's handy. Yeah, it is. It is, especially for something like this. So I'm going to go into My Connection, and I'm going to go retrieve, and it is wireless LAN device. You don't have to worry about the words. It was just simply, oh, did I save it in memory maybe? Yeah, I did. Oh well, I wanted to show you guys. Let me just send it again because people don't really understand how to do it. You get a really good view of it, by the way, which is nice. Oh, and I decided to do a different one. So, la-di-da. I'm just rocking it out today, aren't I? Just rocking it out. The other thing to remember, I actually almost forgot, is that cut the base fabric, whatever kind it is that you're using, cut the base fabric. It has to be the exact same size. So what I mean by that is that normally when we make applique, we would inflate it a little bit on here to make it a little bit bigger so it catches, and then the cover stitches cover up. This one, for patches, the way I'm doing them, you don't need to do any of that, so it makes it a whole lot faster. So again, wireless LAN, just go by the pictures, which is a picture of the machine, and there it is. So this is the PES file, and you have two choices. So if you can't, this is patches right here, and this is image. So if you go there, it's not going to do what you want. This one, because you want to pick out the pieces.
Just like that.
So it picks out this one because I marked it on my machine as, because it's brother, we're all brothers here, as a, I guess it's like an orange color, and it recognizes it, that's the cutting part.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it makes it a whole lot easier. And for like the hot chocolate one, there'll be A and B. So you just have to change the color. That's all it is. So yeah, I want that. That's perfect. Thank you very much. So no changing of the size. The cutting that comes in is what you want. And there it is right there. Yay, that's awesome. Now you can do editing or whatever, multiply, that sort of thing. What?
No, somebody was asking a question, but it's about Mylar.
Oh, okay. So you can have more than one cutting. You can do that for cutting, not so much for stitching. So I am using the regular blade, not the fabric blade. So just the regular blade, because I am using the dime stiff fabric that's a little more, cuts a little more like paper. So cut we want, and we're ready to go. It's all automatic, and let me go back. And I have it set up. You can zoom out, Don, maybe.
Yep.
So we can see more. We don't need to see the screen. And you could save it into memory and whatever, but... So I just have a piece. Now the beauty of the scan and cut is... See, I just kind of have like a crappy piece. I could put another one different color here and just layer it. And then you scan it. So then you can move it perfectly to fit. So great scrap buster for something like this. So that edge doesn't want to stay down, but it's okay. All right, everyone is going to be surprised at how quick this goes. So it reads the mat. You can only use these special mats with it, and we should be good to go. I could do a scan, but meh. Okay, you ready? So what it does first, it's taking measurements. With the fabric, it does the mat, and then it does the fabric or whatever you have on. And you ready? Because it's just about done.
Pretty quick and easy then.
What do you think? And look at that. And
That's
that is why you use... Oh, here, I'll put it on here. Look at that.
perfect.
That took less than a minute. So then remove your mat, and it's just the regular mat. And even though it's going to make a little bit of noise, I am going to put the plastic on because I don't like cleaning the mats all the time. It's annoying. So
Cindy King says, Sue, I'm thinking about getting a cutter soon, one that I can figure out how to use. I have a big one at our shop, but I don't run it.
now it must be
She wants to get a
complicated.
smaller one.
See, she has commercial machines.
Yeah.
So Cricut is really good, plus they have a ton of things. I mean, obviously I like the scan and cut. Are we still on the camera?
I'm
yeah.
on the main thing, but yeah.
I just want to just go home. Okay, you can save this if you want, but a lot of this stuff on this one is built in. So you have shapes, all sorts of shapes, and you can do this on the computer, but it's all right here. So shapes.
Nice when it's built in.
Yes, yeah. And this has, look at all these shapes. Yes, clamshell. The clamshells are really difficult to create that are symmetrical. So I recognize some of these from quilt blocks. So it just goes on and on. These are really cute designs. These are folders for it. So we can look at one and look, more. It has a lot to offer, and it's really nice because you don't have to have a computer or an iPad or anything like that. The best one, though, is, see, there's 2 pages of it. The lettering is gorgeous, but look at this. What is this? What is this? Quilting, quilt blocks built in that you can cut, and it does everything for you.
That's kind of awesome.
It is kind of awesome. So you just pick it. 8x8, that's the size I like, although you'd have to make it a smidge smaller. And it organizes everything, and it tells you what you need to do, how you need to cut it. So you pick the one that you want and get cutting, and then sew it together, and you'll have perfectly formed blocks that are nice and straight. But for this, you're going to be using the fabric mat and the rotary cutter. So yeah, it's awesome. So a lot of fun. I like it because, I mean, I always feel if you have the upgraded machine and you want a cutter, might as well have the upgraded cutter that works so well with the machine. So literally any design, I bring it into my luminaire. I send it, of course, using Embrilliance. Why do I use Embrilliance to send it over? Because it works. The PEDesign always loses my network machine because the luminaire is only wireless. And they came out with another thing and it always jams up. So I don't even bother anymore. I don't care. I just open Embrilliance, open the design, send it. And then if you're going to send it to your cutter, all you have to do is change the placement stitches to the brother colors. Now, when you switch to brother, it's right at the bottom. There's 3 of them, and there's a special code in it so the machine knows, hey, this is what I'm cutting. So you could really literally do a whole bunch of these, put a full sheet on it, and cut a whole bunch out, and that is going to be a huge time saver. And awesome. Save it on your machine for next year. So it's already there. You don't have to do anything different. Save it on the cutter. So I'm just going to move the cutter out of the way. And let's see if there's any questions. Do we have any questions? I had a Cameo, sold it to get a Cricut maker and hardly use it. I rather hand cut, works quicker for me. I do both. Some things I like to cut in the hoop, but I think if I'm making a whole bunch of something like this with this fabric, then I would use the cutter. I'm actually trying to make an effort to use it more because it's really brilliant.
If you're going to sew quilt blocks, do you need to have fusible on the back of fabrics?
No. No, that's different. You can because it produces a nice sharp cut to it, but
But you don't need
harder to sew together. So I'm going to say no. And if you have the rotary cutter or you have the Cricut they have a nice rotary cutter too and a mat, you can use that, but you don't have to have fusible. If you're doing, say, a little border line, then you should back that with like heat and bond or something. Really small, you need it for the detail. Quilt blocks, nope. Just put your fabric down, scan it, move the pieces to where you want. Fantastic for scrap busters because you can use every single bit of it because you can scan it and see exactly where you don't have to guess.
So you have less waste.
Yeah, it's really nice for it. So no, quilt blocks that I showed you, you don't have to fuse. Just roll it onto the mat, use the right mat, use the fabric cutter for brother that you get, and done.
And what stabilizer do you use in the hoop to get the cleaner edge on the patch?
Well, water-soluble stabilizer is probably the best. Now, I don't happen to have any because we're pretty sure a hound ran away with it because a big roll is missing. So unless Dawn is eating it downstairs, we kind of think a hound took it. So also, we've been precision cutting out patches for 20 years. So I'm just using cutaway today, and that's normally what we use. So that's just us. But water soluble will get you a nice edge.
Fabric-y kind.
Yes. No, I think hopefully the plastic one will not hold up to the Merrilee, to the patch edge. So for me today, I'm using cutaway. I don't recommend it though, because when you're trimming it out, if you accidentally trim a bit of the edge, all the thread pops up and you've pretty much ruined it. There's no coming back from it. So, okay, head over to the machine, Dawn.
Right.
And we are going to do this. So, any other questions? Oh, that a friend uses a steamer to get the water soluble stabilizer to clean the edges. Yep. Badge Master. I haven't tried Badge Master. You have to let me know how it is. I just kind of have one thing for everything, right? I don't know. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on placement. So the first thing is we're going to do the Merrilee. We're going to do Merrilee, which is the patch edge, and it's from Embrilliance, and it's an add-on. And I'm going to do all the patches with that, so we will get used to the procedure. Full bobbin, thank you, bobbin police. So I'm going to do the outline. And remember that the fabric, whatever kind that you're using, or felt, I forgot to mention that, is the exact same size. You don't want to make it any bigger.
Felt is nice sometimes.
Felt is nice, especially for Christmas stuff. It's nice. Okay, so we are going to go back to the desk, Don.
Okay.
Now, this one, I put in an extra part in it for tack down, so if you're cutting in the hoop, it's right there. I didn't do that for all of them, though. So what I'm doing here is, I couldn't find any glue sticks. You just need a little...
Did you steal those too?
I don't know where they are. I found like 2, but they were all dried out. So this is just double-sided tape that I'm using. Why am I using it? Because this stuff is pretty stiff. And when you get stitching, you don't want it to move. So not necessary, like 100% necessary, but makes life easier. So I'm doing it. A little bit of glue, maybe around the edges a little bit. Moderation, of course. Now, I want you guys to see how perfectly, look at that. So exact same size. And then I'm just going to push it down, and then I don't have to worry about anything. So exactly, precisely the same size. And the Merrilee is going to stitch next. So that just keeps it. What I do too, by the way, is I turn it around and you can really see.
That you got it placed.
Yep, you can see if you're off a little bit. This is perfect though. I'm really happy with that. So yeah, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Back to the machine. So I hope you guys are going to make patches. There's, I put up these patches actually, so I am showing you how to do it. They're up on the website, so in support. Just love your new nails. Are they done with the new Merriam Bright? Yeah, I forgot. I only got one hand done. I kind of suck for that. I'm going to stamp them with stripes. I didn't. I was talking to my kid last night instead of doing my nails. It's red with a light gold over it. So I'm going to put stripes so they're candy canes, which is my absolute favorite thing to do for Christmas. Okay, so our first step in the Merrilee is, which is the patch edge. This is your tack down. And see, it goes in. Now you don't cut anything, you don't want to do anything more. So that's holding it really nicely. So just kind of on the inside. Now this part here, the extra fabric, is where the Merrilee is going to go, the actual stitches.
Yeah, nice zigzag.
Yep, so now you have your get out of jail free card. So when it does the zigzags, you see how perfectly it's on? That's what you want. That's the goal. If you have fabric sticking out, take a minute. Once it's done, you can just stop your machine and use really thin, sharp scissors and try to trim it out. So that's how you make an awesome patch. So it's all about the fabric. It's all about, you know, kind of not thicker fabric, but nice fabric when you put whatever fusible on it. Nice and stiff, like the dime patch maker stuff, which to me is perfect, absolutely perfect. You can get all sorts of different colors too. So I have to wait till after Christmas to make mine. Yes. Oh yeah, Cindy King had a great idea. Glue a magnet on the back and use them as refrigerator magnets.
Oh yeah. Why
Yeah,
not?
they're perfect. I'll be doing different sizes, but not bigger than 5x7 hoop. So this one is a little bit bigger than the 4x4, so I did put it in the 5x7 hoop because it'll look. Oh, a magnet, what a good idea. Yeah, absolutely it's a good idea. Sarah says, wish I had Merrilee. Well, Sarah, you can still stitch Merrilee patches because I'm going to be making patches. It's kind of our thing, so it's a lot of fun. They won't necessarily all be cutesy wootsy things. We've got to appeal to the Mishas in the world, and there'll be skulls. Yeah, and Karina, there'll be skulls and fire and dragons and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. So would make fab stocking stuffers. Yeah, absolutely. I think getting a patch where you have to sew it on or iron it on. You could also put ribbon on the back, and you could hang it up on your tree. Or a bookmark. I would use this as a bookmark with a little ribbon on it. Just even put it on the back, it doesn't matter. But look how precise that is, and it wasn't hard to do. And you know what, if you are trimming it in place, if you're careful enough, this is why we've been practicing our applique trimming skills a whole lot, and you could still get the same results. So those are the keys: fabric, stiff, nice and flat. It does require ironing unless you use specifically designated patch material like I am. Then you have no worries.
Lorelei says that send them Christmas cards. That'd be cool.
Yes. So if you're gonna do something like that and you do have a cutter, then it's just as easy to cut out 10 of them than one, because you already have it set up, and it would take a few minutes, and then you could just go. Put it down and go. Go to the next one. Make a little pile like that. Super easy. But yeah, in cards, I could think of a million uses. And these Christmassy ones, especially the pie and the hot chocolate, those are my favorite. The pie and the hot chocolate. And the stocking. Heck, I like them all. This one is a coffee mug, which is really cute. Now, we're not going to stitch the whole thing. I just wanted to get fabric and get everyone to understand that, yes, the answer is fuse. I know in Shakespeare there is no answer, to be or not to be. That is the question. So this one is diffuse or not diffuse? Fuse.
Judy Quilt says Merrilee is now $30 off until the 22nd of December.
Woohoo! There is a link in the description, and it is, click on it. It's gonna tell you everything about Merrilee. You get a whole bunch of fonts, you get shapes. You can make it to any shape with just like one click.
Oh, it is fun to play with.
Oh yeah, Dawn's just discovered it. For production, because we have a Marrow machine, that's what we use. Sometimes we use Merrilee a little bit for any weird shape patches, but ours are basically police, army, standard industry. So we use the Marrow machine because that's what they want. So that works out. But I'm pretty sure this is a pretty darn good copy, I guess, of a Marrow stitch. So if anyone was wondering that, yes, I've been using the Marrow machine forever. Again, it hates me. I hate it. I'm the only person that uses it.
I can't do it.
No.
I tried.
Nope. Sam tried. Everyone's tried. My buddy Jeff tried. And they're like, nope. After 5 minutes, nope. Almost impossible, but I have a knack for it, and yeah, it just hates me. But that's what we use. But this is really close. It's really close. So, which is nice. So, yeah, magnets. What else could you do? You could put ribbon on the back, like I said, hang them up on your tree. They'd be awesome for embroidered cards.
Giving you patch ideas.
Oh, good. Yeah, fine.
Bob and chicken, Bob and police.
Oh, yeah, okay. Those will be free, and I'll do one of them today, and oh, good idea. Maybe make some blank patches that we can add our own designs. Yeah.
Great idea.
That's fantastic. They'll just be standard sizes, but yeah, absolutely. I was also thinking some of the mug rugs that I've done would be gorgeous as patches.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Yeah, some of the designs on it. So let me know what you guys think of that for sure. So yeah, this is just fun shapes too. Yes, makeup and sandwich bags. Yep, lots of fun. Detention patch, says Karina.
Yeah.
You're on, girl. I hope you're writing all this down. So once you have the edge done, and again, this is a perfect example. This is the goal. This is what we call ourselves patch masters, but this is what patch masters would consider a perfect patch. No fabric showing through. Everything's nice, sharp lines. That's what we look for. Of course, this is home embroidery, so you can literally do whatever you want. But for patch masters, that's what this is. Or patchologist was one of my friends came up with it. Master patchologist. I was upset. I worked for like 10 years before I met Dawn, and I said, I don't have a title. Like, I don't have a title. And someone said master patchologist, and I'm like, yeah, Facebook jail patches. I've been there. But my friend has 13 times. Oh, man. Okay, back to the desk, Dawn. Yeah, keep the ideas coming, and you know what? Someone can start a thread in the OML Embroidery University Facebook group, and perfect. With patch ideas. Some of them will be free, and some of them will be just like a nominal cost. Mm-hmm. But I think everyone should do patches. You can do it with, work with what you've got. You guys know I'm big on that.
Have fun.
And it's a lot of fun. So this is the goal. And I may put a picture of this up because this is what you're shooting for. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you can't do any better than this, to be honest with you.
That looks pretty good.
It's pretty good. Nice sharp edges, the whole bit. Mm. Again, I'm using cutaway. You guys should use WSS, water soluble, so you can just trim it out and then use like water on a Q-tip to sharpen up your edges. If you have any pokies, so any of the fabric poking through, then you can use a Sharpie to kind of color them. You can trim them carefully, keeping in mind you don't ever want to trim these, the stitches, the patch edge stitches, or you can use some kind of heat to melt it a little bit, although I caution on that one. That's pretty tough.
Cindy King says she uses polyester material and she can use a heat gun to kind of clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, that works.
To be careful.
That works. Yeah. Yep, for sure. So, a lot of fun patches. Be looking forward to a whole bunch of those. The pack we have today is a Christmas, and I think it's like $4.99 for all the patches.
Nice. That
I'm showing you. Plus one I haven't shown you, and it is a very happy clementine.
Cute.
Clementine.
I'll have to check that out.
I don't know if other countries do it, but clementine oranges are a sign of Christmas for us.
Yeah, it's the holiday season.
Yeah, and you get them in like a wooden box, and you just eat them all. Dawn?
I did not.
Yeah, Dawn.
Okay, I did.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I thought I'd throw that one in, but different subjects, different funds, and I'll try to put them, 4 or 5 patches in a group that are similar theme sort of thing. Halloween patches, can you imagine? Anyways, for the same price. So I try to keep it just a little bit to help me out to buy fabric and keep everything going, but also so everyone can make a patch. So $5 will get you like 5 patches, basically $1 each.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. So, it's fun, but I want to see what you guys can do with patches. I'm so excited to see what fabric you're going to use, how you're going to make it your own, the whole bit. And someone can start a thread with patch ideas, because we had a whole lot going on here and I love it.
I wrote a bunch down.
So, which is awesome. So this is the last video of the year. So Dawn and I would like to say thank you so much for yet another wonderful year. We've created so much. I've learned so much.
We've had a lot of fun.
It's been so much fun. So we have high hopes, big plans for 2023. I'm kicking up my digitizing game a little bit and learning some new techniques. So you guys will enjoy that. That's a lot of fun. But thanks for all your support. We appreciate it. We hope to keep this going on for a long time. Hopefully I can hit 100,000. I'm struggling for 50, but hopefully the goal is 100,000. Just my personal dream. So if you can do anything to make that happen, that would be great. There'll be freebies once in a while, especially patches. Really want you guys to try this technique for sure. So we'll do it over the next couple of weeks. We might do pop-up classes, which means, we're going live in an hour sort of thing and doing something, digitizing or something like that, something fun. But other than that, we'll have to see you guys in the new year. Of course, we'll be around in the group all the time. I'm on it all the time. But just for videos, we're just going to take a little Christmas break. Everyone gets busy. I do want to see your patches, though. And I'll be creating and making new and exciting stuff. So I hope everyone has a wonderful Christmas. Merry Christmas. And if I don't see you before then, Happy New Year. And I'll see you guys in 2023, and we are going to make embroidery awesome. It's going to be so much fun. Great ideas. Meantime, make your patches, yo. Make your patches and play with your Mylar.
There you go.
Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
I love this.